What is going on YouTube? Hit it back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know on the channel, for the past couple of days since I've been home on Long Island, we have been waiting for a correction within pretty much every single cryptocurrency to date. As you guys know, since I've been home too, we've been making video after video after video of potentially seeing a correction and a pullback, a healthy correction to the downside here. You can see since 3 days ago, and this is going to be 3 days once this video updates, we've been talking about filling in this gap here. You can see, or 4 days ago, filling in this gap as we had an ascending fractal, hitting the top resistance, retesting moving averages, then a correction, a pullback, a dump, as you can see here, was going to happen, and we would be correcting to the downside, as I've drawn in the arrows here, showing you guys clear as day where every point of contact was. And you can see literally yesterday's video, I said, I hope you're ready, watch this now, a big dump is coming. Literally just yesterday, we said, I hope you're ready, watch this now before you buy my fail-proof plan for XRP. And that is exactly what has happened. As you guys can clearly see here, a massive dump to the downside has happened. We talked about this. I'm so excited that this planned out perfectly. We made a ton, and I mean a ton of profit, not only on our Patreon group, but we also made a ton of profit here on the channel, shorting this by using BitYard, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a second. So I'm super excited to see all this happen. I'm super excited to call this dip here. I mean, for those that have been following the channel every single day, you'd know this is what we were waiting for. We discussed here, after filling in this gap and seeing tons of ascending fractal movement with tons of volatility and tons of buy pressure, you can see here, as we slowly started to get uncertain and when the volume started to kind of fall off, that's when we saw a break below our support and fell to the downside, and we took advantage of this. It's not just XRP. We saw it on Ethereum breaking bearish, and even Bitcoin breaking bearish, correcting to the downside here. We discussed in depth about when to buy into all of these, when I plan on shorting all of these, and that is exactly what happened. And I know, and I can look back on some of my comments here on yesterday's video, that a lot of you guys were like, don't short, don't short, don't short, but here's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. So very excited to talk about today's episode. You can see even on the S&P 500 here why we were also hinting at a potential correction. It's a healthy correction, so don't get it twisted. We're not going to continue to dump to the downside here. This is just a short-term pullback that will allow us more room and more steam to head to the upside even higher. So very excited. Hopefully you guys took advantage of this. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. Remember, we post all of our crypto trades, or all my crypto trades, here on Patreon, link in the description. We have 4 different tiers: the Gold, the Lounger, Crypto Platinum, as well as the Masterclass training, which is super cool. Definitely make sure to give it a check. We not only talk about the major cryptos like Bitcoin and XRP, but we even have tiers that have different cryptocurrencies that I don't have enough time to make, like Cardano, the S&P 500, so on and so forth here. So definitely make sure to go give it a follow down below here. But with all that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, I want to start this off by showing you guys yesterday when I made this video, XRP Ripple, I hope you're ready. Watch this now before you buy my fail-proof plan. I discussed with you that if we saw the resistance, if we saw the price of XRP close below the green band, we would see an immediate dump to the downside here, drawn out perfectly. This was yesterday's video, August 18th. Today is the 19th. Now, looking at today, you can see yesterday closed us below the support level right here. You can see we closed below it. We closed below at 36 cents here, and that immediately caused a massive dump as we expected here. We were literally counting down the days, waiting as we were slowly falling stagnant on this price floor here, trading sideways, tons of uncertainty, sideways movement, sideways movement, sideways movement, sideways movement. We just finally, not only do we break outside the uptrend here, which is extremely important, this is the biggest red flag and biggest sign of a dump, was because we broke through an uptrend that we've been using since literally July 13th here. Once we closed below that, we knew then, okay, bigger chance of correcting lower, and then we closed again below the green band. That meant big dump to the downside here. And you can see just over today alone, we've managed to fall from 36 cents all the way down to 32 cents, an 11% drop. And from its peak, it was 13, and from all the way up here, it was 16.45% here. So we expected this drop here. It was beautifully aligned. You can see we also discussed that if we closed or started to play below this uptrend here on the relative strength indicator, it would immediately cause us to flash crash down to bottom support here because of how close we were getting. And as you guys can see, we drew it clear as day here on yesterday's video with the XRP short position here. That's exactly what happened with XRP. We took advantage of it. Now we are up a ton of money. And obviously, take your profits right now. With this massive drop here, it doesn't matter if we head even lower. There's a very good chance we could continue to fall down to 30 cents, but it's probably highly unlikely. With this amount of volume coming in and shorting this to the downside here, we're probably going to bounce up very quickly here and then start to trend up higher. And I promise you, now the next opportunity is a rally up to 41 cents because we're now much lower at 32 on the RSI. By the time we consolidate back up, we are going to be higher than where we were at a lower position on the RSI. So get excited. I'm excited. We shorted this. We made a ton of profit. Hopefully you guys took advantage of this too. Ethereum was an iffy one. Ethereum isn't falling as much. You can see the drop on Ethereum was very small, only about 8% here, although we've been down a total of 17% or 16.84. We've been staying away from this because we were trending a little bit too high, but we also discussed that once we broke this uptrend here, we would see a correction to the downside, and we're also starting to experience that now. But the biggest trades that we took advantage of was XRP and Bitcoin. It was those two specifically, and the reason was not only do we have an uptrend here, which was acting as major resistance, as we were starting to get sandwiched in, if we started to trend below this blue band right here, we would short this to the downside. And specifically, if we saw the price of Bitcoin, which was filling in the gap right here, filling in this ascending fractal. I mean, I've been doing this for years now, 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, it's almost like I've developed my own patterns and, you know, things that I see. So with the knowledge of knowing and seeing these, I can, we anticipate what's to happen, and we've learned how to mitigate our risk. So when we saw prices filling in this gap here, we discussed, okay, we can take advantage of this. We can trade inside here. We know that we're going to see these ups and downs and ups and downs. We know we can buy in here and long to the upside. We know when we hit resistance, we can short and buy in long and run to the upside and hit here and short. And we continue this pattern over and over and over again. But we discussed here, as we start to fill in the gap and get closer and closer and closer, there's going to be less room and movement to make profit off of. And that's when we wait for this trend to be broken. And that's what we did. So once we saw this uptrend get broken, once we saw the uptrend close below here, we knew to short this and it would, you know, immediately drop to the downside here. You could see an immediate correction to the downside was at play, and it was expected. Now we're almost at, what, 36 in the RSI. We're almost oversold, which is a reason to say, hey, this is going to be temporary. There's a chance we could correct down to 19,000 on Bitcoin here. There is a slight chance. We very well could, but it's going to send us into extreme oversold, and this is going to allow us to fill in the gap here. You guys can see when we jump to the weekly here that Bitcoin is filling in what appears to be a massive descending fractal. And I mean a massive one at that. Massive swings here that we've been filling in this gap here. And there's a good chance now that we could correct lower, or we could fill in the gap, trade sideways like we have done here when we fall, correct sideways, and then we correct it again. So we might see the movement like that, but what I'm anticipating is a pump to the upside. This major descending fractal will break bullish, and we will see a rally of this nature here, which is the opposite of the pattern we're seeing here on the daily, which is the opposite. We, you know, have an ascending channel instead of a descending channel, and then we correct downwards. This big purple one will break bullish as it's a descending channel with a bullish outlook at that. The S&P 500, we're falling as well. This is expected. If you guys want to, you know, if you have a way to trade the S&P 500, I believe personally I would be trading this, shorting this to the downside, because you can see not only are we becoming overbought, we hit a major resistance, and we said we are most definitely going to correct lower here and trend sideways just to build up some buying pressure, and then we'll head up even higher. We were overbought here. We're trending way too high. We're retesting major resistance, major uptrend here, major resistance of overbought. Once we confirm closing below this, there's a good chance of a dump to happen. We're hitting a major resistance up here. There's no more power. There's no more buying power to head up even higher. So that's why markets are correcting and pulling downwards. It's expected. It's anticipated. Now, all these trades that we've been making, the fact that we shorted XRP, the fact that we shorted Bitcoin here, the fact that the S&P is falling, we've been taking advantage of all of this on Bityard, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. Let me give this a quick refresh because it is not loading correctly here. Maybe it's it shouldn't be perpetual. That's why. Okay, so now we have this pulled up here. Not only do they have Bitcoin, they have XRP and tons of other altcoins and cryptocurrencies. We also discussed here on the Bityard chart that we were pretty much filling in the gap here, and a decision was going to have to be made. And here's the major dump to the downside. You can take advantage of all of this here on Bityard. Not only that, but you can also use their demo account, which I told you guys about yesterday. If you weren't comfortable with trading with real crypto, you could use their demo account to short this, simulated short to the downside here, and test your skills. And this was a huge call and a huge play and a huge win for Crypto TV and everybody a part of it. If you do decide to sign up with the link down in the description, make sure to click on mystery box after you do to get some free crypto. But with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.